Chapter 1. Hermetic Philosophy. The lips of wisdom remain closed, except to the ears that are ready to hear. The Kabbalion. Since ancient times, the core and secret teachings that have deeply influenced philosophical systems across all races and civilizations have come from Egypt. The land of pyramids and the Sphinx was the cradle of esoteric wisdom and mystical doctrines. Many cultures, including India, Persia, Chaldea, Media, China, Japan, Assyria, Greece, and Rome, drew knowledge from the sacred teachings of Egypt. These doctrines were passed down only to those who were ready to understand the hidden truths. Egypt was also home to some of the greatest masters and adepts, figures of extraordinary wisdom, rarely equaled since the days of the legendary Hermes Trismegistus. Egypt served as the central hub for mystical brotherhoods, and its temples welcomed countless seekers who would later spread their sacred knowledge across the world. Any serious student of the occult must recognize the immense debt owed to these ancient Egyptian masters. Among them, one figure stands above the rest, the Master of Masters. This being, if he can even be called merely a man, lived in Egypt in the distant past and was known as Hermes Trismegistus. He was the father of wisdom, the founder of astrology, and the pioneer of alchemy. The details of his life are lost to history due to the vast span of time since his existence. His last incarnation in Egypt predates Moses, and possibly even Abraham. Some traditions claim that Abraham himself acquired much of his wisdom from Hermes. Centuries after his death, tradition says he lived for 300 years. The Egyptians deified him, worshipping him as the god Thoth. Later, the Greeks also honored him, merging him with their own god of wisdom and calling him Hermes, adding the title Trismegistus, meaning thrice great. Across cultures, his name became synonymous with the ultimate source of wisdom. Even today, the term hermetic is used to signify something secret, reserved, or closed off. This originates from the ancient hermeticists, who strictly guarded their knowledge, revealing it only to those deemed ready. They followed the principle of offering milk to children and meat to men, a teaching later echoed in biblical scriptures, but which predates Christianity by centuries. This cautious dissemination of truth has been a defining characteristic of the Hermetic tradition, ensuring that its wisdom never becomes dogma. Unlike other ancient spiritual traditions, such as those of India and Persia, that eventually merged with religious institutions and lost their depth, Hermetic teachings have remained independent of any particular religion. The fusion of philosophy with theology has historically led to the corruption of wisdom, reducing profound truths into mere superstition. This happened with the Hermetic teachings of early Christian Gnostics, whose knowledge was lost around the time of Emperor Constantine, as Christianity veered away from its mystical roots. However, throughout history, there have always been a few dedicated souls who kept the flame of Hermetic wisdom alive, ensuring that its light never completely faded. Yet, the most profound truths have never been found in books. They have always been passed down directly from teacher to student, from master to disciple, spoken from lips to ears. When they were recorded, they were often disguised in the language of astrology and alchemy, making them incomprehensible to those without the key. This was necessary to protect these sacred teachings from persecution, particularly during the Middle Ages, when religious authorities violently suppressed the secret doctrine. Even today, while some valuable Hermetic texts remain, much has been lost. Yet, Hermetic philosophy remains the ultimate key to unlocking all hidden teachings. Long ago, a compilation of fundamental Hermetic principles was gathered into a work known as the Kybalion. Its exact origin and meaning were lost for centuries, but those who have received its teachings orally understand its wisdom. Until now, its principles had never been formally written down. Instead, they were transmitted through concise maxims and axioms, later expanded upon by initiates. These teachings form the foundation of Hermetic alchemy, which, contrary to popular belief, is not about transforming physical metals into gold, but rather about transmuting mental vibrations and achieving mastery over the mind. The legend of the Philosopher's Stone, said to turn base metals into gold, was an allegory for the deeper truths of Hermetic philosophy, something fully understood by true disciples of the tradition. In this book, we invite our readers to explore the Hermetic teachings as presented in the Kybalion, explained and expanded upon by us, humble students of this wisdom. Though we are initiates, we remain mere disciples at the feet of Hermes, the Master. Here, we present many of the Kybalion's maxims and principles, accompanied by explanations that we hope will make these teachings more accessible to the modern reader. The original text was intentionally veiled in obscure language, but with careful study, its wisdom can be unlocked. The maxims, axioms, and teachings from the Kybalion appear in a distinct typeface throughout this work. We hope that those who read this book will find it as valuable as others who have walked this path before them on the journey toward mastery from the time of Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great, to the present day. As the Kybalion states, wherever the footprints of the Master appear, the ears of those ready to receive his teachings will open wide. When the ear is ready to hear, then come the lips to fill it with wisdom. Thus, this book will only reach those who are prepared to receive it. Likewise, when the student is ready for the truth, the book will find its way to them. The Hermetic principle of cause and effect, often called the law of attraction, ensures that the seeker and the knowledge they seek are inevitably drawn together. Thank you for listening to this chapter. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. A new chapter will be released every week, bringing you deeper into the wisdom of the Kybalion and Hermetic philosophy. Stay tuned. Arsayan Nayasara.